Let me tell you a story. It's 6 a.m. and I'm in bed. This is July 2023. And I wake up and I have a searing pain in my bottom right abdomen. So I go up to my parents' bedroom and tell them I need to go to hospital. It's very rare that I want to go to the doctor because my belief is I'm a man and I should be able to look after myself, even if I need to take medication. However, my mum did try talking me out, saying it was a stretching injury because we just bought a new exercise, weightlifting, sort of calisthenics thing, which is called TRX. Oh, this isn't on 60 FPS. Okay, doesn't matter. It's called TRX. And my mum thought it was a stretching injury. However, I get driven to hospital by my dad and I go to the accident and emergency and wait in the children's area. I have my triage, which is like a pre-check of what your conditions are. That is your blood pressure, your cognitive state, your heart rate, things like that. I'm waiting for about an hour and then I get put in a room on a bed and someone comes up to me with a injector and they inject this thing which sort of dangles out of the inner part of your elbow, and it allows them to inject stuff into you without actually having to pierce the skin because it's already got a thing in your arm. So I get given something. No, my bloods are taken, that's it. My bloods are taken, they go check my bloods, and a doctor comes over. I think that I have appendicitis, but he's like, oh, what have you read on Google? It's all fake. However, he does the check for appendicitis. So he places his hand on the bottom right part of my abdomen and presses down and releases. Now, the telltale sign that you have appendicitis, this isn't medical advice, but what I and he identified was if it hurts more when you stop applying pressure to the area on the right part of your abdomen, that means it's very likely you have appendicitis. Listen, if it's on the bottom right part of your abdomen, he presses down, it hurts a little, but when he releases, it hurts a lot. That is a telltale sign for appendicitis. So he looks not concerned, but he sends me to so I need to remember this, the surgical assessment unit. I waited for about 3 hours and then I got seen for a ultrasound. Now, ultrasounds are normally used for pregnant women to see their baby, but in this case, I got it used for checking if I had appendicitis. So the guy pulls out my shirt and puts on this sort of cool liquid, and he puts the machine thing over my skin. And he's doing this for about 10 minutes, 5 or 10 minutes. And then he tells me to sit up and looks not concerned because it must have been so routine, but he's like with a solemn face going, you have an inflamed appendix. And I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I love attention, or I thrive on attention, or I want attention. I went back to the surgical assessment unit waiting area and I told the reception people who I'd sort of talked to already and said, I have appendicitis. Sort of with a grin. It was weird because it was like, now I'm doing something. Not, I don't know how to explain it. Anyway, I wait about another hour, and then a doctor calls me over, and they ask me to sign a form. Now this form is a waiver, allowing them to operate me, and if I die, it means they cannot be sued. I think. I don't know what it quite was, but that's the premise of the waiver. I signed the waiver and everything because I have to. I need the operation. I wait about another hour, and then I get sent up to the orthopedics ward, I think, which I wasn't supposed to be in, but they didn't have beds in the place I wanted. At this point, I still have the syringe on my left elbow, and I got a bed in a room of 3 beds. There was a bed to the left of me, my bed, and a bed opposite me. Now, when I went in, there was a man called Ken he was 86 years old, and he'd broken a bone because this is an orthopedics ward. I think it was. Check, don't correct me if I'm wrong. And there was a guy opposite me named Terence, in his late 20s. I was finally allowed to eat at the end, because I was told I wasn't allowed to eat before the operation. But they said it's not happening today, so I ate, and I had the best cheese and onion crisps ever. I never eat crisps, I never eat those crisps, but it must have been because I hadn't eaten all day. And I got my first hit of morphine, bro, crazy. I'll tell you more about the fucking opioids later. So I woke up the next day, and I was thinking I was going theatre the first thing, and I couldn't really sleep because I was like, fuck, I'm going for an operation tomorrow morning. But it got pushed back because emergency accidents had happened on the road or whatever. People high priority had come in. At this point, most of the nerves had gone because you can't stay nervous for an extremely extended period of time. It's just too taxing on the physical biology of your body, in my experience at least. At 3:30 p.m, the time had come. It felt a bit awkward being wheeled in a bed to the theatre because I could have still walked, but it's just protocol because you're gonna have to be wheeled out on a bed, that's for fucking sure. I waited in the entrance of the theatre for about 5 minutes. Then I got wheeled by there were loads of people around, there's like a little hospital inside the hospital, the operating theatre. It was like the City of London in London, if you get that analogy. And I got wheeled by loads of people all looking around me. It's like, bro, yeah. The reality hit me when I saw the theatre because I got put to sleep under anaesthetic in the operating theatre. Most people get put to sleep in an anaesthetic room, but I was on the fucking bed that I was going to be operated on, and it is a crazy fucking environment. There's about 7 to 8 people, and I describe it in here, in my recollection. Quote, "The acutely unique atmosphere of the theatre can only be described in my words as calmly chaotic." I was thinking organisedly chaotic from my memory. There was a constant beeping, which I presumed was my heart rate, and 3 beeps, which got higher pitched, when each beep happened every 30 seconds. I will never forget the feeling before I got put to sleep. After 7 to 8 people got briefed on the operation, my mum left and they gave me the mask which puts you to sleep. It tasted sickly sweet, almost like, not like, it didn't taste and smell like a vape, but it was just sickly sweet. A nice taste. But not natural, you could tell. They injected me twice with something in my arm as well and said, I will be very itchy when I wake up. Now, I'd before this said, I will try as hard as I can to stay awake because I want to be put on so much fucking shit to send me to sleep. I'd like try and fucking stay awake. So they put me down on more shit so they could actually get me to sleep. However, this wasn't the case. I wasn't really thinking about it and I just fucking drifted off. They said, what's a happy place? And I said, on a roller coaster. And it was sort of like the perfect scenario because on a roller coaster, it's like feeling takes over. Yeah. "45 seconds, 15 of which I don't remember, and I was out." It's so weird because with getting to sleep, you don't know you're getting to sleep, but with this method, you know you're going to sleep, and it's such a weird feeling because you're consciously going to sleep. It's so fucking weird. So, after the operation, which actually ran over, I woke up with a very itchy nose and pain. When I woke up, I said I'd do this. I said in like a tone which I didn't put on, but it was like sort of, I don't know. No, it was genuine. It was like, I woke up and I was like, morphine. And then, bruv, I said morphine. They gave me, I couldn't even like tell what they were saying or like even interact with them because I was so fucking disorientated in the recovery room. They told me, we're giving you fucking fentanyl. What the fuck? Fucking fentanyl. If I was in a right mind when they said that, I would have fucking flipped out, but because I was so out of it, it was just like, I couldn't do anything. I drifted in and out of sleep, and then I proceeded to get higher. I don't know if higher is the term, but I proceeded to get higher than I probably ever will in my life. And I don't remember this now, but what I've written down is I saw the line splitting sleep and consciousness clearer than ever, whatever that was fucking meant to mean. I don't know if I was bullshitting there, but maybe I did when you're on all of those fucking drugs. I remember the lightly lit room, which had about 8 or 10 beds. This is the recovery room where all of this happened. And each bed had about 2 people over it. It felt really good. Like really fucking good. I got wheeled out and I got wheeled out on the bed. I needed to this time. And I saw my mum as she got back. She was very happy. And the whole time they were wheeling me back, I was hyperventilating. And I think, obviously there's no evidence or anything, I think it's because I was fucking ODing on the fentanyl they gave me, because my thought was, did I really need the fentanyl? And if I didn't need the fentanyl, it was fucking, I don't know. There was probably everything I was under control, but that was my thinking, that I didn't actually need the fentanyl, so I thought maybe I was overdosing. So they put me on 2 litres of oxygen before moving to 1. And yeah, I thought I'd overdosed. Then my dad and brother came to me and they looked pretty ashen, like, because when they saw me. And apparently when everyone was around me, my eye's pupils, you can see my pupil there. It was probably 1/10 of the size, like fucking that, like as a circular, like that fucking small. So, it was tiny. There's no fucking wonder because it was on, like, maybe if you search up fentanyl eye or heroin eye, it will show like a tiny pupil. I don't know. But that's what I had. They apparently stayed for an hour and a half, but it only felt like 10 or 15 minutes. Literally. And I was so surprised when they said we stayed for an hour and a half. And I drifted back to sleep. This is about 7 p.m. I wake up at 10 p.m. and I've been left loads of food, and oh my god, the pork pie I have is crazy. I open the iPad I have and I play a chess game, and I think I forget what drugs I'm on because I feel like the chess game is like chess is just so fun. But it's just because of all the fucking drugs I'm on. It's just like I was feeling so good. Like after the operation, I was fucking like dancing to like the music I was listening to when I shouldn't have been because I was in pain. Yeah. And there was a new guy opposite me who's about 50 years old, and he's a really, really nice guy. He's a sort of like a fat white man, like a build, sort of like how a build, like if you think of a builder, UK builder, like that. And also it was really, I wouldn't say traumatic, but it was really disturbing. There was a man in one of the other wards next to ours, and throughout the night he was just shouting repeatedly. And anyone who works night shift as a nurse or doctor, not as a doctor, but nurse at a hospital, respect. The first time I tried going to the toilet, no pee came out. The second time I went to the toilet, I had a 5 to 7 minute pee. 5 to 7 minutes. Did get easier every time though. At this point, John had given me a fan, which was so kind of him. He's such a nice guy. I wish I'd got their details or something, because it would have been so good to keep in contact just as a memory. If I had to sum up my stay in one sentence, I'd say it was an incredibly humbling experience, but a net positive overall. So much so that I think everyone should experience what I experienced, because it shows the delicacy and the fragility of life. It can literally just go like that. And if it wasn't for modern medicine and hospitals, I'd be dead. I said last, it's a good thing my first exposure to a high like morphine and fentanyl was in hospital, because I kid you not, I was obsessed with that shit for about 3 days after. If I had like a known fucking supply line, bro, it is so fucking addictive even after one try. If you're thinking of doing it recreationally, don't do it. Don't do it. But if you're in hospital, it's not too bad. Anyway, the purpose of this video was my belief in that everyone should experience an experience like that, because I think it was really, really positive, an impact on my life. That's all I have.